own image. Then man made God in his own image. Our illest affliction is you don't see what the difference is. Hijack God's verses to make man serve sentences. Modern man say we moved on from past blemishes. But white cast depictions still whitewash melanin. Today's budget still overlooks historical deficits. Do the math. What is the adequate reparation for rape? We speak peace and we teach life and keep your blood alive in us. But your live newscast wouldn't give our deaths 5 minutes. When they die, you change your display picture. When we die, you change the channel. Never hurt more, never cared less. Nothing left to give but forgiveness. Who is today's nemesis? You fought everybody but the devil. Modern man say we are civilized. Say slavery was a sign of its time, we are moral people now. Modern man say we are civilized. Still don't know how to talk to a woman with respect. Still don't know how to look at a woman with respect. Still don't know how to think of a woman with respect. Still don't see that a woman was your past and must be your future. That God put the womb in the woman. That God nested his every prophecy in a woman. That God left man out of the conception of Christ. Don't you get it? Still plant poison in the earth but curse her harvest. Still burn her air but curse its tears. Still take from the poor to appease the rich. Still open malls but close down community centers. Still feed your children to the streets. Still sell dreams with a VAT. Still lie. You still lie. Still lust for your brother's wife. Still covet your neighbor's house. Still tell the youth what they can and cannot become. Still trade education for prices. Still teach terror. Still speak fear. Still sell weapons to tyrants. Still fail to abide by those very first 10 commandments, yet pass a UN resolution regularly and still do nothing when the devil defies it. You still kill black kids. You still kill black kids like you kill black kids just to try it. Charge them. Never try it. Never charged. Never mind. Only so much justice can be sought from a grave anyway. Race is a lie. White supremacy is the apple in the throat of the soul that forgot the colorlessness of its Lord, and in its self-worship refuses to swallow for fear of having to taste the reality of God and the frailty of humanity. How wretched is humanity? How beautiful is wretchedness? Jesus died for your sins, not your skins. Every race is at loss when the finish line is caskets and hymns. Life promises you nothing but death. God speaks in sincerity. Hypocrites' tongues are confined in the silent frequencies of time and space. Cemeteries speak of one truth and one truth only. All men were destroyed equal.
Woo!
The dark chocolate and mint one is the bang. They're not gonna give it to you because they want to eat it, but you guys should petition. You guys should petition. My name is Usaama. I'm very, very grateful to Paul and to Essie and to Jibayega and everybody at CPC because they've really they're really good people and very supportive people. And this place is lit. I've never performed in a place like this before. Yes. I'll do 2 or 3 more, probably 2 more. This one's called Crimson. This isn't the way I am. It's the way I've become. A lunatic pacing the waiting, the waking of sun. I grew up rapping back to tracks of black on black. Now it's brown on brown and they ghost my whole town. We burn our own blood when we bury our sons like a suicidal vampire staring at the sun. In my dreams I see devils wake up to the peace gunning. Get your chest tore up though we've seen it coming like Malcolm. Never will we be running until we be running. Cause freedom without economic autonomy means nothing. So understand that we would rather bleed until the pee coming. And that's word to the mother. Do it for kids who got murked for their mother. Word to the brothers who ain't here cause they followed the word to the letter. So God bless the dead. You can rest in bed, we will rest when we're dead. Your monetary model of mankind's marketing will cease when the deceased resurrect in the orphanage. Cause you can burn my dad's limbs, tear and bury them. But the face in the mirror still bears resemblance. Whoop whoop, that's the sound of the beast. Buck buck, that's the prayer for the deceased. And I ain't biting, I'm offering respect. Cause KRS taught me to rep. For the daughters in the coffins I wept. Cause that's part of my flesh. I'm Daniel Pearl dancing, try to barter with death. Cause the gorilla guillotine slaughtered his neck. Stay in your place. Cause it's no rules, no remorse and no respect. Hold your own, they sold their souls. Skinny little packies going blow for blow. Bob and weave the drones, let the Molotov rock 'em. When young blood waters the graves, this is what blossoms. Rotten or not, it's what we've got. Visions of Malcolm clutching the rifle, watching the block. Trust nothing, cause you could get dropped for the cause. Hydraulic, your body won't stop for applause, cause a moment of silence does not make it stop. And those poppies still get pushed around the clock. The premise of your whole war is a fallacy. The infallible damage we manage is a catastrophe. How could you blame an adolescent who brandish heat? Voice strangled, neck shackled by the gravity of carrying, burying every member of my family. So we stay praying till we let the automatic speak. See, I got roots in the Crescent East, where people blow themselves up to rest in peace, or sell their kids on the street so they get to eat. There's no beauty in the story of a reckless beast, because you only have dreams if you get to sleep. But the bombs outside won't let me peep. Shh. If I'm next to leave, tell my mother I see heaven where she rests her feet. Tell my sister she's the reason for the strength in me. Lock arms in the struggle and connect your feet. Let them do their best till they set you free. That taste of fear is ecstasy. To get lost in nothingness. Our ignorance means others never knew bliss. So I see my soul with holes in it, trying to console old foes folded in it. Photos and images, old and gold replenishing. Memories enclosed within it. Gross sentiments like those who hold with no evidence. Slaughtering innocent souls of cold prisoners. Those of older veterans who've seen their life flash. But it's hard to hold no remembrance. History speaks through old broken tenements, or the face in the mirror that holds resemblance to the father that cheated, the mother that cursed you. But if I never knew fault, how could I know virtue? So I love you, I forgive you, but the ghosts in my past want to live too. Tell me, would they go away if I kissed you? Tell me, would it be easier to forget you? Trying to stomach history, forgive me, I choke. The guilt of Adam is still stuck in my throat. So I spit and I spar, look up in the sky, lose my dreams in the stars. Reality's mean to the fiend in the park who screams as she disappears in the dark. Cause we're all scared of the light. The skeletons in your closet aren't ready to fight. And they say that the sight of God will blind you, but they say walk with Jah light beside you. So maybe if you close your eyes, you'd sight truth in the mind of the child that's inside you. See, the reality is humanity is what drives me. The tragedy of insanity lies inside me. Sheep walk beside me and sight see through the closed third eye in the mind of a guy blinded. So what you find is you won't sight enlightenment. Just the tribes taking sides to fight within. A sword and shield, a corpse in the field. Put a scalpel to your penis, see how torture feels. Now put it to your heart. Hear his daughter squeal. The extortion of unfortunate fortune wheels. You feel awkward still, sorry I couldn't contain myself. If Nirvana don't come, I might Cobain myself. Go chain myself to government buildings. I'm looking for my Arab Spring with the thirst of a pilgrim. Remember, knowledge is power when you're locking and loading, so cock it and load it before busting shots in the open. I'm hostile but open to discuss, so block what you're toting, but keep a finger on the trigger in case they're blocking emotion. But before I deliver you, I gotta save myself. Dear God, never let me be a slave to wealth. Matter of fact, never let me be a slave to self. Feel like a suicide bomber who betrayed himself. When I told her she was my life and burned the covenant that we made by the nightstand. I'm trying to train through the pain for the fight, but my left is still beefing with my right hand. So I put the punches on the page, and despite my tears leave the booth in flames. See, hate begets hate, fear begets fear. So I gotta blow from here to next year. Cause we're here today, but we're falling tomorrow. I buried my grandma, now she's balling and showing up. Chips up, my odds was amazing. The The only thing that I ever lost was my patience. Only thing worse than a heart full of hatred is a good heart that gave in. So I breathe CPR on the mic, slit my throat when I spit, give the game my life. True love bleeds, so I bleed true love. The voice of the voiceless speaks through us. Kevin closed his eyes cause he's seen too much. My chest aches, but I swear to God I ain't been through much. Migraines, militant mind state, eyes blurry looking at the world from behind flames. They say revolution is a mind state. So I will live for this, and I will die on this. And I ain't turning back, my mind's made.
Hey! Wait.
Yeah. When I say fire, you say fire, fire! 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 I mean to be the loudest thing in this woods as we can now, because I feel like these guys are settling down and they're having their breaks. Maybe they'll come and join us over here. But we have exactly what we need in this little woodland here, and I'm very happy to be here. If you've just joined us, my name is Paul Point, and you are now a part of the Chocolate Poetry Club. We are mixing healthy foods with healthy words. We are restoring our part of town. We are from London. Do I have anyone in the audience from London?
Yeah!
All right, cool. We're just making sure who's out there. All right, so we are coming to a small break now, but I just wanted to let you guys know that you can join up to our mailing list if you want to. You can find Serene with the mailing list there, and you get a raffle ticket. And with that raffle ticket, you get one shot at some of our big prizes here, and some of the tote bags that we're going on, you get some big prizes. So we're gonna have a break after our next performer. Are you guys cool? Are you guys cool? Yeah. Over there, you all cool?
Cool.
You all right? Okay, cool. So we're gonna have one more act, and then we're gonna have a break. Does that sound good?
Yeah!
All right, cool. So our next act is my man LaTouche. He's been performing with us for a little while now. I think I've seen him like. It's tricky to introduce. I will tell you, it is tricky to introduce performers, but I love his lyricism. Next up, and his wordplay. Please, can you put your hands together for the one and only LaTouche?
Yeah!
Hi everyone, so yeah, it's lovely to be here. I'm going to go straight into it, I'm going to play about. I'm going to talk about the success and the measure of it, and it goes like this. The measure of success and the tux and the dress, those thugs, they're a mess, but they do have those budgets that's blessed. Whether it be buds in the cess or pimping bunnies for sex, what is the measure of success? Well, they say that persistence is key. So you see, when it gets rocky along the way, I just keep running those steps, keep pumping those reps, and I ain't even done with it yet. Money haven't even doubled it yet. Guess I'll be done when I'm dead. Then I can have some fun with it. Yeah, that must be the measure of success. Like, who gives a damn about stress? Long nights, no rest, no links, no wets, just work, no friends, no soul, just ends. I guess that must be the measure of success. Well, it sounds like the measure of something, nonetheless. But maybe it's too much. I mean, this success, it's got me too stuck. But I'm all about them peas, right? So I don't give two fucks. But no, really I do. So the truth sucks. Something like a new vax. True facts, I had to take a step back before running myself into an early grave just over making a few bucks. You see, now my measure of success is just getting my needs met. From planting them seeds and knowing them leaves wet. Watching it grow, exposing my creativity, never blocking my flow, and always sticking to the plan on any goal that I've chosen. Yo, that's my measure. For me to be the best me that I can be, yeah, that's my pleasure. Blocking out any self-doubt, because that's not clever. That's just whatever. For me and my brothers to be making money from the same pool, so as we can splash together, yeah, that's more better. That's my measure, success. They could easily have you working harder and loving less. See, they starve the hearts of these corporations that cut checks. So although money makes the world go round, it's in such mess. It's quite apparent, this life that we're living. Yes, it is a tough test, but it's how you deal with it whilst you're going through it. That's how you harness your strength. I remember once, that's what my father had said. That success mindset, yeah, it starts in your head. Thank you.
Yeah! Woo!
Yeah, my name's LaTouche. I go by LaTouche the writer. Please look me up on Instagram if you're with me already. I'm gonna go again into it, straight into it. It's another piece that I wrote, and it's named Peace. It goes like this. This guy must be walking around the place acting like he's the big cheese. And guess what? It's starting to grate on me. Maybe I should go and start to grate on him. You know, with him being such a big cheese, that's bound to leave him in pieces. Maybe I should give this person a piece of my mind, demanding a fatter piece of the pie, when that piece of it's mine, like right now, I'm really not that guy to make peace with. Dunny must have this thing confused and think I'm running some sweet shit, as if this was candy covered feces. You get that? Sweet shit. Look, this ain't no Reese's Pieces. You have your mind all over the place, but yet you make it easy for me to piece it. See, I could guess your next move before it's even made. The motive plots for where the piece sit. It's almost telekinesis, I've peaked it, Jesus. Look, I can totally appreciate you're the same dude I can sit and smoke the peace pipe with, but homie, this is business. And I'm gonna have to pull it on you that we've missed most of our deadlines and now we're approaching Christmas? What is this? I'm gonna have to switch this, flip this. Look, I'm gonna take the reins back on this project and move a bit so fast, man, I'll probably get a slip disc. God be my witness. Look, B, look, I've got peas to make. So I'm gonna take this piece of piss and turn it into a piece of cake. I'm trying to eat a pumpkin pie with some cheese and steaks. All these pumped up lines and misleading dates. Look, I don't need it, mate. I've got food to sell that I don't need to play. We don't need to split, and you don't need to stay. But it's kind of clear to me now that you're feeling away. Because I tell it how I see it. Look, I need to say, look, this is a big project we're working on together. So we can just put this all down to a teething stage. I mean, we can still work alongside each other in a peaceful way. It's not even like there's that much peace to make. But now I guess that's just a piece of the puzzle that we'll just have to wait. Peace.
Woo! Yeah, yeah, yeah.
I'm gonna make this my final one, and I've named it Black Matter. And it goes like this. It might be quite a surprise for you to hear me say it. You know, being a black man myself, that I'm so tired of hearing this phrase that goes, Black Lives Matter. Because no, they don't. So every single time I turn on the TV and watch some news or open a newspaper, all I ever seem to see is another black life shattered. Like, yeah, the police will be there. So clearly not policing fair. Hands will be up, bang, bang, bang. Oops, there we go again, another black life splattered. So who exactly does it matter to? Because it definitely don't matter to the people who hold the power. And the craziest thing is, we still have millions of black people running around fighting to protect and keep these same people in their same position. So you can't do that and still complain about there not being a change in the system. See, people like this, they just ain't made for listening. In the bigger scheme of things, slavery itself wasn't really that long ago. And so what? They've totally waived the lynching. They've just made it different. In fact, they've kept it quite the same. They still walk up and clap a man down in broad day just because his shade is different. And they're still getting away with it. But this is all okay because we can all just arrange a sit-in. We can all march around Trafalgar Square holding our banners with impeccable manners, screaming, Black Lives Matter. And maybe things just might change. And maybe I'll wake up tomorrow morning, look at the sky, and it's lime green with orange dots and it stops being grey. I think it's time for people to start being awake. So there's no excuses anymore. We're all living in a digital age, living in an age of information. So you can find out the Vatican's holding most of our spiritual and metaphysical knowledge, which is sacred. I just want back those pages that were taken. But in reality, looking back in history, for the past 60 years at least, we can see that nothing has been changing. See, what we need to do is raise a whole new nation of black soldiers with a military mind to run inside and retake it. Because until that happens, we're going to continue to go through the same shit. To me, it's just so blatant. I'm also very careful of what they're trying to feed me. I mean literally, from the food down to anything else they control, including the media. But this is why they'll okay a movie like Matrix. You know, that being one of Hollywood's main tricks. To shove the truth right underneath your noses and then label it as entertainment. They say the truth will set you free. So any research I do, I'm not just doing it for my own sanity. And the truth is, this fight is way bigger than being either black or white. Right now, there's an all-out war going on for humanity. Thank you.
Great. Yeah, yeah, yeah.